What's up, guys? This is Mark from the Squat Plug. You are about to listen to episode 23, where we discuss High School Nationals, where Andrew Duvall, Ylli'S lifter, won his weight class and set a world bench record. We're also going to discuss Collegiate Nationals and the incident between Kevin Papa and Dante, and just the overall current state of powerlifting and how there's a lot of bad actors. So I hope you guys enjoy. And yeah, that's it. Have a good one.
7,
9,
70,
3, 6,
47, 43,
28.
46,
bingo.
12. Okay.
Welcome to the Squat Plug, episode 23. There is a lot to talk about this past week.
Lots to talk about.
This past week.
Lots of pushing and shoving and fighting.
And fighting.
Yes, and bread making.
Oh, okay, that's your stuff. That's your own shit.
A little baker.
Let's backpedal before we get into the bread making. Nina might want to come over here and show us all how to knead some dough before we get into all that. So.
For people that don't know who Nina is.
Nina is my cat.
Okay, yeah.
And,
She's a really good biscuit maker.
yes,
I heard, yeah.
the best in the business. The best. So anyways,
The proof is in the pudding.
proof is in the
Proof
pudding.
of the pudding.
So anyways,
My best slap of that impression.
that was really good.
Thank you.
You look alike because you're both bald.
We're both bald.
He has better abs though.
I tried.
I had really good abs.
I did when I was doing P90X.
Do my bodybuilding era.
I did. Back when I cared about my physique. Crazy ass week this past week, man. A whole lot's been happening.
High school nationals,
High school
then
nationals,
collegiate
yes.
nationals. Yeah. You had a lifter compete at high school nationals,
Yes, I
actually,
did.
correct?
Yes, I did. Phenomenal job.
He won his weight class.
Yeah, won his weight class. Yeah, top JV. I'm gonna say in the 75 kg in the nation. Broke a world record bench press 3 different times. The opener, the second attempt, and the third attempt. You know, so I was pretty impressed by his performance. Kind of started off squats a bit discouraged. He got off to a little bit of a rough start and whatnot, but. You know, we came back. We did what we needed to do. He went 2 for 3 on squats. Missed his third. I think he pitched forward a little bit too much. You know, and he's not used to lifting in the morning. So I think, being 15 years old and so on and so forth.
No, I know how it feels lifting in the morning while you're not a morning lifter.
Bro,
I promise
so
you, it's
do I.
not fun.
So do I.
Mateo, there's never going to be a meet at midnight.
No, but
no,
there
they
might.
close.
Mateo goes to the gym at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
No, they
Oh,
close at
that's
11.
actually me. Literally 3 o'clock in the morning.
They close at 11. I can't go that late. Otherwise, I will be there.
Technically, I'm not a late lifter. I'm just a very early lifter.
Yeah, right. Technically, it's
No,
morning.
you know what? You would be an early lifter if you went to sleep early and you woke up at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, never.
So you are a late
never gonna
lifter.
happen.
So you are a late lifter.
Yeah, no, I take advantage of the dead hours of the firehouse as much as possible.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
So he hit a world record bench.
Yeah,
You said,
world
and then
record bench.
what happened on deadlifts? I know you.
Crushed it.
There was a little bit of a coaching.
Yes, there was some stuff. A whole lot of coaching
Coach
took place
off.
behind the scenes to
coach
make
off.
happen what happened. You know, we were pulling for the win. It was us and another kid, and we juked them, and then basically changed the attempt again. And his coach comes to me behind the scenes, goes, that was a pretty smart move, but I'm smarter. I'm like, okay, I got it. His lifter, I saw barely made his second attempt. Then I saw he was kind of wobbly at the top. I'm like, let's see what happens. If he's actually smart, he'll change the attempt and go a little below over here. He did not. He kept the same attempt. Kid goes up, completes the deadlift, wobbles, loses his footing at the top, and 2 reds.
Oh, what an upset.
And that was it. Soft lockout, and the other thing was moving, but also soft lockout on both sides. He goes to jury table, tries to overturn it, and we end up taking first. Won the meet. Fucking phenomenal day. We went in there legitimately. The whole mindset was, don't worry about where other people are at. This kid was actually he was in contention to win from beginning to end. And we were like, just it is what it is. He secured enough of a lead by bench press and whatnot that we were like, all right, it is what it is. It's 20 something kg. We won't make up the difference. Let's just do what we need to do. And then he had a rough bench performance as well. So we excelled at bench press, had a great bench session, and then he faltered in bench, and that's really what saved the day for us. And then by the time we got to Delves, it's like, oh shit, we may have a chance here. We revised the opener, and we went up by another, I want to say 10 kg or 15 kg, I forget what it was. And then basically they absolutely destroyed the opener. His deadlift peaked super well, all-time PR on deadlifts on the platform, all-time PR on bench press, by the way. He never hit that before, at least not the standard. So just had a hell of a meet, had a hell of a performance, man. And the kid, basically, he does what he needs to do. Andre is receptive to coaching, and he is very, very coachable.
That's great.
We had a 7-week turnaround, in fact, like from when I first started working with him to this happening.
Oh, really?
Yes, 7 weeks.
Wow.
7 weeks. Yeah, this kid he's next level.
That's awesome.
I happened to be lucky enough for him to reach out to me, and I took advantage of what was there. Took the raw talent and the strength and just turned it to meet their performance.
That's awesome.
We have the World Cup coming around in June. Looking forward to seeing what he puts up over there again.
Is it like a teen World Cup?
Yes.
Yeah.
Team World Cup. We're anticipating more bench world records, and we're anticipating potentially the squat
When's
world
that,
records as
June?
well. End of the month, same time as the Open World Cup.
Same day?
Yeah, same day, same exact day.
That's not really smart.
No, that's right. I'm going to be having Aaron, who's going to be handling him out over there.
Where is it?
It's out in Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, like, that's...
I know. I was thinking the same thing, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that's interesting, but like you said, is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, so that's awesome. Fast forward a week later to collegiate Nats. None of us were there.
Yeah.
None of us had any lifters
But
compete
I
or
definitely
anything,
feel like I was there, bro. Holy crap.
But yeah, I think
felt
we all saw enough footage to feel like we were there.
I definitely felt like I was in that parking lot. I'm not gonna lie.
No, Kev! No, don't go out there! You're 180 pounds soaking wet!
Well, so for those who didn't see any of this footage and aren't
Which is
really
impossible.
aware, which is most likely impossible, but there could be a few listeners who aren't really privy to the whole scenario. So, Ylli, why don't you kind of give the whole? I think you're probably the best one to explain the entire
there's a lot
story.
Here. So to actually talk about, before I talk about the story itself, you talk about the story that took place before the story.
Yeah, last
See,
year.
this is why I just turned it
No,
on.
yeah. It's like a
For you to
whole...
understand the story, we have to go back.
We have to go back.
years. Actually, we have to go back 19 years
To where Dante was born.
That's where Kambarak Muye was created.
Kambarak Mujaj. No, but so last year, Wired Supplements was caught by Kev essentially stealing the entire formula that Kev had for 110. Right? And by Kev, I'm talking about Kevin Papa, 110 Supplements over here. And he called him out for yada yada. They ended up doing a little video chat, which was fucking epic. I want to say, I guess, like Tested Powerlifting's, one of Tested Powerlifting's little like interesting go-to stories, just something to go back to, like, and just to laugh about. Become one of those kind of stories. It's canon, so to speak. But he goes out and he basically roasts this guy Abel to his face, like he calls him out as a liar and a fucking like a scam artist and that kind of shit, and like just all that kind of stuff. He ends up winning the debate, whatever. Jesus Olivares calls him racist for referencing burritos, from what I understand, or tacos or some shit like that. It seemed like a bit of a stretch at the time, but this is relevant information for what we'll be talking about later. So that takes place to have the beef. At CNATS now, Kev sets up a booth and he gets ready to operate his business. And lo and behold, who else to set up a booth out there? Wired Supplements. Now, there's a little back and forth that's taking place between them and so on and so forth. It's mostly them coming over to Kev's table because Kev's not... You can't imagine Kev approaching their table and, talking shit to them. He's minding his own business. So they approach his table, talk some shit.
Also, to talk about that, I'm pretty sure that Wired Supplements, their table was on the outside of the venue. Like, it was, like, outside of the ballroom. And Kevin had a table on the inside of the ballroom. So even if they wanted to... They didn't have like direct eye contact with each other.
Yep.
So they had to go out of their way to go through their table.
And now some other things, apart from, I guess, what they're reporting as an altercation, which there's no record of, by the way. There's nothing out there. They're saying that, I guess, like they had some problems, yada, yada. It's conjecture at this point in time. I think it's, it's to be taken seriously, but we don't know who did what. Mm-hmm. So fast forward to, Sunday night, the last day of CNATS. And it ends up in Kev finding himself out in the street with, I think, Yellowthick Road, my Granger, whatever. Mm-hmm. And these guys from Wire Supplement and down to De Leon approached them. And it's like them going back and forth, talking shit and whatnot. And then down to De Leon just approaches and fucking knocks Kev right into the ground. It looked like it was like an open-handed push/punch at the same time. Mm-hmm. Kev lands on the ground. He stands right back up again. And that's pretty much where it ends. There's a film of this, from two different angles. So it's clear as day. He was not the aggressor in the situation. Down to De Leon was. So that all takes place. Everybody's, I guess, like up in arms and so on and so forth. Dante De Leon goes about and he says that essentially that, like he was defending himself, blah, blah. And then there's
That Kevin asked him to go outside and have a fight.
Yeah, like there's some conflicts with the story, because he also made in his stories talks about how his brother handled it with him. In other words, like he's saying those that he didn't put hands on Kev, but his brother put hands on Kev.
No, I don't think that's what he said. I think what he was saying was that on day one, on the first day, Kevin assaulted Dante's brother. That's what he was saying. I'm pretty sure.
I could pull up the actual screenshot itself.
Because if we go back to the video that you showed us earlier,
Yeah, he did. He
said basically
say that.
Kevin assaulted my brother, on day one.
But there's no evidence of that other than him just saying that, correct?
Yeah, just him saying it.
But on the video it's clearly Dante. He was wearing the same exact clothes.
So this is actually this is a little bit after that took place. Damn, Kevin's still running his mouth after my brother handled him for touching me.
That's probably what happened on day one. He's probably talking about day one.
Because he was talking about on day one.
He got
something there. Yeah, there was some altercation at the booth.
So I'm assuming on day one.
He said that Kevin assaulted him at the booth on day one, correct?
Yeah, yes, that's what he was saying. But now he's even contradicting himself, because he literally just said my brother manhandled him on day one, like that post. So
yeah, that doesn't really make any sense. That is a contradiction. His story is already falling apart.
a little bit.
Yes,
a little bit. I mean, I guess it's. You could always go back after the fact and be like, and try to make Kevin look like the aggressor, or make it seem like you weren't the aggressor, at least in the situation, which doesn't seem to be the case based on the evidence we actually do have.
So they're making some accusations saying that Kevin's being racist towards them and that kind of stuff on day one. There's no evidence to support this whatsoever. Goes back, I guess, to the whole Wired supplement thing where they're trying to paint him as a racist during that moment. So they try painting him as a racist again, and there's nothing there, I guess, to indicate it. There's no screenshots, no conversations, nothing of that nature. I'm pretty sure Kev.
On the other hand, Dante was calling him the N-word.
So Dante was dropping the N-bomb over and over again, and Kev actually in the video says to him, you need to stop using that word, blah blah. And the kid says, I can say whatever I want to say, and then that's when the moment took place.
I think Kevin said, I remember him saying, "You're like Mexican or something."
Yeah, you can't be saying the N-word.
You can't be saying that you're like Mexican or something.
Yeah. But he's definitely trying to twist it. So now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
let's take into consideration.
I think everybody knows what was meant by that.
Yeah, but let's
probably could have ended.
Yes. So
probably could have went without saying that, but.
Yeah, so let's look at the context itself. What makes this all the more relevant and whatnot, and really, I guess, frames the entire thing in the way it needs to be framed. Dante De Leon goes on to say, "You put your hands on me and you broke my brother's chain. He had the option to press charges on you and he didn't. The following day after the meet was concluded, you provoked us. In the video, you were talking big stuff in the face of a 19-year-old. You threatened me in my space. That's false." He's called another lie here because he's approaching Kev. Kev's not approaching him. You see it. It's blatant. Clear as day over here. The kid's walking up into his face. So we called him lie after lie after lie, by the way. And knowing on day one, a couple days before, where he got violent and physical already. So this sounds like a gross exaggeration on his part already. Again, the recurring theme here with the lying and dishonesty. Wired supplement as well, I guess, is known for being dishonest and that kind of shit. I was not going to let you harm me. You are wrong. So this person who weighs 275 plus pounds, attacked at Kev, who's like $180, $170, something in that range. And he approached him to defend himself. Is that how self-defense works? You approach a person as an aggressor to defend yourself?
I mean, yeah, that's usually how that works. You walk up and you push the person to the ground.
Yeah.
And say, I'm defending myself.
Making sure.
Self-defense.
Oh my God.
Self-defense.
You know that video with the UFC fighter that pushed him? He's like, I can't let you get close.
Yeah.
That was Dante. Fucking full of shit. So it's so stupid, the entire thing. And there's no point for this to even happen. Because he's sponsored by Wired Supplement. He's not the owner of Wired Supplement, So I don't know I don't even know what a sponsorship by Wired Supplement even entails, to be perfectly honest.
I don't know. I didn't even know this brand existed.
I mean, I'm pretty sure.
And that's the brand that stole their formula.
Yes. I'm pretty sure.
And they stole it and then they upcharged. So they charge $5 more than whatever 110 charges for the product.
But the thing is, I think that the Wired Supplement owner and Dante are close friends, so that's why he was so
wound up.
Yep.
I get it, but at the same time, it's not your company, my guy.
No,
it's not worth getting locked up over this shit. So this entire thing took place, whatever.
So did anybody ever get arrested?
No, cops are informed, from what I understand, and this is something which is being worked on. I know that some people out of there reached out, filed a police
What
report,
does that
and that
even
kind of stuff.
mean?
So there's things taking place. I can't talk about things just yet, but things are moving from what I've been told. You know, we have to wait until things actually take place. You know, like before we can actually discuss these things. But things are being worked on. More to the point, the USAPL's response took a little bit, but they said that they saw what happened. They're taking action, so on and so forth. We have to wait to see what that action happens to be. I put up in my stories that if they wanted to report the incident, they could just basically go to the code of conduct website, go to the bottom in red link in red color, click on the link and file the report. I think in my DMs alone, 3 people told me that they actually went through the process. You know, so that's good. But you know,
What do you think his punishment might be if he actually?
well, violence like that, legit, I think he should just be kicked out. I'm hoping what takes place here is that his records are expunged, his performance is made to have never existed. You know, just wipe clean.
Can I be honest? It was kinda unfair. I'll tell you why.
Oh my God.
Because it happened after. No, let me.
You
let me
guys should
explain
see
to
the
you.
look on Ylli'S
Oh my
face.
God.
No. They should ban him from the federation.
Disappointed.
But let me tell you this, right? Why would you take his records and his medals away if that happened after the meet? If the incident happened after the meet? Because like technically, if
what?
it happened before, you'd be like, oh yeah,
So-
we've banned him, and since this incident happened before the meet, his meet doesn't count.
I could understand what you mean, because like it's not like he cheated. Nothing happened in competition.
And it happened after the meet as well.
And
You
it
know why?
happened
Because
after the meet was over. But you know what? It has everything to do with like code of conduct as an athlete.
But like I don't
But
think. they
because
should,
I think he chose to do so after the meet, so he wouldn't get kicked out of the meet. That's why I think he did it. He took advantage of the moment because he had 4 days. He could have did this,
maybe,
and he chose to suddenly do it on that day.
maybe. I mean,
You know, so this is like it's predatory behavior. This isn't an innocent 19-year-old. He's an adult. 19 years old, bro.
I think that might be a little much.
No,
predatory
but
behavior.
legit. But like he's no, but legit though. He's waiting for a moment to exploit it. Like where basically he can do so
He's
without.
a fucking kid, dude.
with,
He
ni-
ain't
he's
fucking,
ni- that's not a kid. 19 years old, you're not a kid anymore, bro.
dude. He's a fucking.
if you can
kid.
hold a gun, you're not a kid anymore.
Thank you. You know.
And he did something stupid outside after the meet was over. That hopefully at some point he will regret in his life.
So why didn't he do it on the first day? Why did he do it the second day or the third day? But he chose to do so at the 4th day after he competed himself. But and by the way, after you compete and you make all that happen, you're feeling fantastic. So why are you looking to start problems with people? What's actually taking place here? Which makes me wonder what's happening with the wired supplement guys and what they're chirping in his ears. To be honest, you're like probably some toxic shit.
Honestly, someone probably put a battery in his back. Someone hyped him up to go do that to Kevin. You know, it probably wasn't done on his. I mean, yes, it was his own volition, but like, there were definitely people in his ear. You don't just go do that.
So now, in addition to this here, because people are saying this is a one-off incident, there are also reports from TSS and his misconduct. Him doing some fucked up shit out over there. You know, so
Like,
apparently reports are indicating that he may have put hands on other people out over there. This is not the first time it's happened. So there's
well, if it's a pattern, it's a pattern. It's a problem.
Yes,
So-
there's a pattern there, and it's not just him. It's also other people in that circle out over there. So it seems like basically TSS has some problems that it needs to solve right and quick. I've heard that they've taken some action and kicked him out of TSS and that kind of stuff and whatnot, but this is stuff that should have taken place before. I heard there was like some back and forth about.
The funny thing about that is that I don't know how if that's completely true or not. Dante used to work for Wes, the owner of TSS, and he actually stayed at the gym. So he stayed in a room at the gym.
Yeah, so he worked
lived
there.
there.
Yeah, for it. When he was, I've heard many reports of it. So when you hear many different things with that, it's important to kind of slow down to not just talk about all that stuff because you know the emotions are high here. You know, there's some women involved and so on and so forth. Some of the other individuals are out over there, and it's a very complicated mess. And I don't want to put out stuff over here which people maybe have resolved in the past or trying to find ways to resolve currently. But it is a hot fucking mess out there. So for this to happen and whatnot is not a
Texas,
surprise.
of course.
Apparently, it's
hot,
a
baby.
recurring theme. Like holy shit! Like all the scams we've been covering of late, it's been straight out of Texas.
That's
I
true.
mean, the thing is
pretty
like
wild.
that. It's the center of the powerlifting world, so
That's
makes
true.
sense
That's
that
true.
he'll have a lot of stuff going on there.
True, but there's a lot of stuff going on out there. So he has like an
It's also Texas.
yeah.
True.
So
True.
So he has an established history with this kind of behavior. If the assault claims are to be denied and to be disproven, whatever the case happens to be, he has an aggressive demeanor and so on and so forth. And it culminates ultimately of late in this situation. Fine, whatever, it is what it is. There is no backlash, at least publicly, from Mike Davidson, Mike Davis, who's his coach.
Mikey Davis.
Mikey Davis, who's his coach. There's nothing officially against, like, from the flex team, so on and so forth, until there's pressure put on them sufficiently the day after when they come out with the declaration that they present. And it was, I guess, lukewarm at best.
All they said was basically that they're taking a look at the incident. That's pretty much what they said.
Yeah. So from official Big Body, Joey Flex's brother, this past Sunday, April 14th at the USAPL Collegiate Nationals, we were made aware of an incident involving Kevin Papa and one of our athletes, Doherty de Leon. We are troubled to hear a member of our family made such a poor decision and have reached out to Kevin directly to resolve the issue. This is on Tuesday, by the way. This is 2 days after the event took place.
who said this?
The official Big Body.
So Joe Flex's brother.
Disciplinary actions have been taken and will continue to be taken involving this matter as agreed upon by all parties. We don't know what the hell the disciplinary actions are. You know, Kevin was very understanding and Dante knows the gravity of his actions. Violence is never the answer. We do not condone violence, disrespect, or anything relating to these sorts in any capacity. So you're saying this, we're not told what the actual steps are, which is fine. I guess you want to keep behind closed doors, whatever. And yet in the comment section of his next post, talking about how we support you all the way, is what Mikey Davis says to this kid. Quentin Postel had actually hit up Mikey Davis, was asking what was going on over here after being unfollowed by Mikey Davis for his interactions with Doherty de Leon. So just a whole lot of mixed signals over here. Like, you're talking about how you don't condone this behavior, but you're literally saying you support this guy and so on and so forth. How is this you not condoning this behavior? You basically giving him carte blanche. You're saying, and kind of spinning it in a way that makes him seem like he's a victim, so to speak. You know, some videos that they made afterwards with Jesus Olivares kind of walking in front of it, you know, like in front of Doherty de Leon's lift, like, you know, giving the impression like he's his bodyguard or something like that. And Jesus making a post talking about, like, you know, like the songs like, you know, no snitches and this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, bro, this is such a wrong fucking minded response right now. This is not how you go about dealing with this. And
I didn't even know about any of that.
yeah, so these are different things we're seeing that are being sent to me on I'm gonna say like on a hourly basis for the most part. And so I'm getting like I'm quite in the mix of here. I had some conversation with Kevin. I'll let him speak on his
We
behalf.
know how in the mix you are.
Yeah. So I'll let Kevin speak on his behalf for this stuff over here. He can take care of himself, I feel. It's just, you know, it's like, you know, you're talking all this big game about how violence is the answer, so on and so forth, and this kid, Doherty de Leon, is already signed up for fucking meat. This just took place. He may be getting kicked out of the USAPL for all intents and purposes, and he signed up for meat in Powerlifting America already. This is how seriously they're fucking taking this shit.
I mean, they'll welcome him with open arms.
They will, of course.
Yeah.
But this is how seriously the flex team is taking this. Oh yeah, it's punishment. Sign up for another fucking meet. Are you fucking kidding me, my guy?
I mean, they can't keep him from signing up for
Yeah,
a
I know,
meet.
but
They
like, bro,
could be like,
if you're taking the
do
guardian,
it, I'm not going to coach you at that meet.
exactly. If you're taking the guardianship and stuff like that, you're saying those.
They're not going to do that,
like-
though. He just won junior nationals. Like, why? Are
Well,
they,
my thing was, yeah, but if they
they don't
actually
have
took,
any integrity. Are you
yeah, but the thing is,
serious?
like, if
So
they actually
that's the
took that,
issue.
if they actually took the disciplinary actions that we're talking about, they would either like tell him not to do the meet, or
I mean, what disciplinary actions could they possibly take?
what I'm saying right now, you're not listening.
Like, who the hell are they? They're
Well,
like
but,
not an authoritative body. Like,
Well,
they can't just take disciplinary. What does that even mean?
Well, so in
they're
his-
gonna slap him on the ass, like,
in his life,
like, like
in
they're
his
gonna
dealings,
spank
they,
him? Like, what
they have like an
the
authority position.
in,
So Doherty,
as their coach, yeah.
Yes.
Like, what are they gonna say? Like,
So-
you can't do a meet for 6 months. You're punished.
or we won't work with you.
You're
Like,
grounded.
again. Yeah, but instead of that happening, they're basically still working with this kid and so on and so forth. So Dante's situation is rather complicated. He's homeless. You know, he was living what's called the TSS and that kind of stuff. From what I understand, this is what I've been hearing. This is the opinion out there. If we're wrong, reach out, correct us. But also, I guess we met him first. We actually met him at a white table at Southern Regionals last year. He approached the table, was talking about the shoes, how much he liked them, and he said he didn't have enough money to buy them. So
he was going through some shit.
He was going through some shit. I immediately reached out to Mateo. I'm like, yo, bro, let's give him a pair. So we gave him a pair of white toes, and he proceeded to wear them exactly 0 times.
No, you were wrong. About that. No. You were wrong about it. No, he's lying. He's lying about that. He wore them for a little while.
Did he
were
really?
wrong. Yeah. So
Okay.
take that back.
Okay, I take it back. So he wore them a couple times. I have that kind of shit. But like, so I'm all for that. I'm all for that kind of stuff. But to end up doing what he did in such an unprovoked way against somebody like, bro, like if you weigh 275 pounds, you're coming at a dude like Kevin and shit like that. There's serious issues with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 19 years old or not. I was 19 years old. Like I've been in the mix. I've been a person, I guess, like, who's like, like involved in those kind of movement patterns.
You definitely have.
Yeah, that's not somebody you come after. And if you do, you're a cornball. So he is a cornball. And these guys defending him, they're bigger cornballs.
I agree.
So this is the issue that I have.
Let me ask you this before you keep going. Like, do you think that do you think that your Altoid do you think that your Altoid encounter was more or less serious than this? That was it more justified than what happened with Dante and Kevin? So
I got locked up. I got arrested when I was 14, right?
Yes.
And it wasn't the Altoid incident. But it took place after a couple of Altoid-like incidents. So I was a rambunctious youth, 14 years old, and then finally I got arrested. I got kicked out of, for all intents and purposes, all New York City schools.
Just a PSA to the listeners: keep your eyes off of people's Altoid cases on the train. Just saying. Okay?
Unless you want to get your ass beat.
But I was an absolute jackass. I got arrested for it. I got kicked out of my school, and there wasn't a school in New York City which wanted to accept me, except for the worst schools. So we had issues with Latin Kings and Bloods. The only schools that accepted me were schools that were full of Latin Kings and Bloods. And I'd made it to the New York Times, so there was no way of me going out there.
Yeah.
So I have to go to
This turned into a true crime podcast.
The Altoid podcast.
So I had to go to Yonkers instead, whatever. Like, I went over there. I ended up turning my life around. I became a Buddhist, yada, yada. I graduated high school a year early, by the way. A few people know this.
Now a lot more people know this.
Actually really smart, by the way, guys.
If you know this.
Despite appearances, you know this. So turn
real ones know.
Only the real ones know.
Just like all that kind of shit. But so
now the listeners
know. It's easily accessible. Literally, just Google my name, it shows up. So I turned my life around with that, but I received the punishment I deserved, and I took it seriously. I was like, all right, I'm never gonna do this again. I never have. I never got arrested again. Never partook in that shit again. I stopped fighting. I stopped being involved in that horse shit. And honestly, I'm fortunate that it took place because the same crew that I ran with ended up getting arrested for fucking drug trafficking, racketeering, arms trafficking, all that kind of shit. Some of these dudes are doing 25 to life right now. And I still been running with that crew. That would be me as well, without a shadow of a doubt. Because I was in. So this is an opportunity for him to right the ship. And their behavior right now isn't doing anything to correct this. It's telling me that it was okay, that you were the victim. That the fault isn't with you, it's with Kev. This is a false narrative. This is fucking horseshit. And so it's setting them up for this to get worse. Because this is what he did this time, he got away with it, right? Whether he gets kicked out of USAPL or not. Whether he gets like a fucking misdemeanor or some shit like that or not. He's being told that he's right. What's going to happen next time? What's happening with this opportunity for him to get better is being squashed with fucking delusions and lies.
Where's the accountability?
And it's being done, honestly, not because the guys at Flex Team, I believe, give two shits about him.
No, but honestly, jokes aside, where's the accountability?
I know, but it's non-existent. So I think the only reason why the Flex Team is making any statements is just to save face publicly. To not get quote-unquote canceled. Nobody gives a shit about canceling a 19-year-old. The whole thing is basically like, this kid has problems he's fucking dealt with. And these guys,
6 months will pass. He'll be competing at, everything will be back to normal, quote unquote.
So he has some demons he's dealing with in his life and so on and so forth. I'm aware of this shit. My heart goes out to him on these accounts. But how this stuff is being dealt with isn't setting him up for any, I want to say, for any success in the future. Or like to prevent issues like this from happening again. It's doing the opposite. It's causing a lot more damage than anything else. The people listening right now may not be aware, but he lost his parents a little while back. So the kid's, he's by himself for all intents and purposes. He's his own, like father figure in his life, and so he's looking out to these other people, like Abel from Wired Supplements, like the Flex Team, for fuck's sake, for guidance.
I mean, again, he doesn't. That's the people he has around him. It's not on.
He could have worse role models.
Yeah, he could have. Bestar Mujaj as a role model. Things could be worse.
Bestar Mujaj has morals, right? He has a moral code that he abides by. Is that how you pronounce
your last name?
Yeah. The J's are wise.
The J's are wise.
And
so you just been letting me say Mujaj.
I mean, I've been
called I know everybody says that. You don't correct anyone. I don't blame you.
I've been called this since kindergarten, my guy.
That's fair, but at least me, you don't.
How about you say my first name?
I've tried to say your first name
that's
like
what I
7
thought.
different times.
And you got it wrong every time. It's Ylli. Just call me Ylli. It's actually pronounced Ylli. There's
Ylli.
an umlaut.
No.
Ule.
No, you sound like
Ule.
No, it's not Ylli. It's Ylli.
You should use the Japanese accent that Bess used earlier.
Ylli. You see, exactly. That's why they call me Ylli. That's why they call me Mujaj. And I'm fine with it. It's okay.
I mean,
I've made my peace with this.
Fine with it.
I am fine with it.
I mean,
Bro's face is red.
I mean, he spells your last name wrong too. The Doherty. He just like he does it.
Dougherty.
Damn, that's the
Sometimes it's Doufferty.
Doherty.
Yeah. So.
All right, fair enough.
Okay, so speaking about
kidding.
TSS and UTSA
Oh Lord.
and lifters from UTSA.
Booyah. I can't even. I can't. I just,
Do you want to talk
I'm
about
over it.
the squat suit?
Oh my goodness.
So there's another TSS story from UTSA. The squat suit. Oh man,
debacle. Oh,
the squat
my
suit debacle.
That was
So this
hilarious.
kid goes through the entire meet, gets it, finishes like first
Squats.
place, all that kind of shit.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Didn't he get
didn't
reposted on
no.
the SAPL?
No. So what happened?
Go,
with
you know
him-
the story about it. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. So he went out for squats with the squat suit on, from what I understand. Some people were telling me that he wore a different singlet on his opener and then he changed it, but I don't believe that. I think that actually didn't happen. So he hit his 3 attempts on squats, all good. None of the refs noticed he was wearing a squat suit. Whatever.
wild.
He was warming up for bench, and then
I mean, honestly, but can you blame them? CNAS is like fucking like over 1,000 lifters, bro.
true.
Like, you fucking
That's
shot.
fair. I mean,
I can't blame the refs.
and that squat suit kind of looked like a singlet.
does.
I'm not gonna lie. It was like it's basically like the cheapest squat suit you can find. So
It really blended in.
yeah. So anyway, so he starts warming up for bench, and then the Midland University coach noticed that he was actually wearing the squad suit. So he went to the jury and he basically said, like, this kid is not wearing a singlet right now. He's wearing a squad suit. Go take a look at him. So they went in the back room. They figured out that he was wearing a squad suit and he got disqualified. So he didn't even bench or deadlift. He just got disqualified from the meet. Yep.
Wow.
And apparently
I wish he got like carried out of the meet, like
carried out of the meet.
like someone like Andre the Giant just like comes out of nowhere, just like throws him on his shoulder and carries him out of the meet. Yeah.
The funny thing is like he's actually worn this.
Throws him out of the.
He's actually worn this squad suit before in the meet. This is
Get
not-
the hell out
yeah,
of here.
he's,
So
it's not his
that's
first
where
time.
the confusion comes in my end over here, because I've seen videos of him deadlifting with that squat suit on. You see the impression it has on his quads, like how it's really pushing into the actual meat of his leg. And so there have been other meets, raw meets, that he's competed with that suit on.
Yep.
So, like, apparently, it seems to be so. Like it may not have been intentional. He may have done so. I'm going to say, like, out of ignorance as opposed to like intentional.
That could
No,
be
absolutely
One
not.
second. That could have been the case if he didn't have to check his equipment in.
Yeah.
Because you do the equipment checks,
Yeah.
right? If
he-
he actually showed them the singlet he was wearing, they would have told him like, "This is not a raw singlet."
Hold on a second. You've gotten your equipment check many times. How thorough are some of these?
No, I understand that, but you're
equipment
saying
checkers?
like it's a
They're
mistake.
thorough enough.
No, but wait. They actually check your equipment, right? So there's no way it was a mistake. What could have happened was that he might have
Swapped
showed
it.
them a singlet.
A black singlet. Yep.
He might have showed them another
That's
singlet.
what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then just wore the
Yeah,
squad
just
suit
you
instead.
go into equipment check with a regular singlet. You got the squat suit in your bag, right? And then you just change real quick.
So do
you
you
go
think
into
that-
the bathroom, you change, you come back out, boom, you go do your squats.
So do you think this is the last time we see this?
No,
You know what?
I think
that's pretty fucking smart if I'm being honest. I might or might not try it on my next meet. I'll take my chances, all right?
refs will be more on the lookout for it now,
Yeah.
at least
I
for a
hope so.
while, and then it'll die down, and then
Yeah.
history always repeats itself.
That's
so.
true. That's true. Just like you did the IPF competition with the dude with the belt.
Oh,
with
the French guy.
the slingshot.
The
Yeah.
slingshot, and he was also wearing
Squat,
squad
yeah.
briefs.
Dude, what a dick move.
And
That
then
video was so epic.
it was.
They were just chasing him
Ru-
down.
He's like running away with like a velociraptor. His arms like tucked in.
and the Italian guy chasing him behind. He's wearing a slingshot. He's wearing a
And he's
slingshot.
like all out of breath. Slingshot.
Where was that meet?
I think it was Masters Worlds. I don't know where it was. Probably some third world country.
No, I'm saying though, like, imagine being like one of the locals, like of the town they were in, or the city and the country they were in, like, and they just see it.
No,
like,
he was a friend. So yeah.
But I'm saying, like, there's just some guy like this, like running down the street.
fucking Belarus.
Someone's
In the
chasing him,
streets of
going, "You've
fucking-
got the slingshots," sounding like Mario.
In the street.
You know what I mean? Imagine being a local. Like, what is happening right now?
Yeah, I know. Just imagine. It's so fucking preposterous when you think about it. You know?
I know.
So
That's
he's
what
like
I'm
the
saying.
whole like T-Rex arms,
Like,
you know.
He's led in a slingshot.
Yeah, like I'm just like, imagining being like an on, you know, just a,
He's like just
a
vertically looking around.
bystander.
Where am I gonna run now?
And the
Runs down an alley.
Another funny part is like
Comes to like a crossroads.
So he walks into a building, right? I think there was like 2 separate buildings in the event, and so like he went to the second building and he hid in one of the dressing rooms, right? So the Italian guy goes in, like saying like, so the people ask him like, what happened? He was like, oh, he's wearing a slingshot, and so the people asked him, are you sure about it? He was like, I wouldn't be running.
I forgot about that.
He was like, I wouldn't be running if I wasn't sure. Like, of course, he's a
Like
powerlifter.
powerlifters don't run. Like,
Yep.
yeah, it was hilarious. That was really funny.
Oh.
Epic.
Yeah.
That was legendary.
Yeah, Slingshot 2.0.
Slingshot
Slingshot
2.0.
2.0. You know how hard do you think it would be to wear squat briefs under your singlet and have
You can wear like those
the slingshots
And get away with it?
slingshot ones.
Yeah, it would be pretty fucking easy, right? Like unless somebody knows about it and snitches on you, like
I can almost guarantee it's
And
happening.
you gotta make
Multiple
That's
stories.
what I'm
with
saying,
songs,
like-
no snitching.
that's what I'm saying. Like for people to have been caught twice, that means that it has happened before and people have gone away with it.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure it's happened.
Like it makes me think, you know, makes me think about my next meet. Gives me ideas.
Oh God.
He's kidding. He's kidding.
If you do it, there will be disciplinary actions. It will be dealt with.
Disciplinary actions, in parentheses. I'm going to sign you up for Worlds.
It's basically what happens. It's preposterous to me, dude. Like just to see the shit, the language that they're using, to see the actual actions that are happening. I'm like, what in the fuck, bro? They don't give a shit. Holy fuck,
Yeah.
bro. No fucks are given right now. It's fucking wild. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, I think we all know how this is going to work out. I can't imagine this being.
I don't think any of us know how this is gonna work out.
I think we kind of do. Like I can imagine this kid's gonna have a couple of other run-ins as time goes on, in some way, shape, or form or other. Particularly, I guess, with the narrative these guys are spinning.
Especially now that he's known about doing this shit, people are going to start poking him and like starting shit.
Honestly, I felt like memeing the shit out of the situation with him, but legitimately, I can empathize with him to an extent with what he's dealing with in his life and that kind of stuff. And so maybe that's holding me back. And I was under the impression that they were actually doing something to take care of the situation. But now seeing the body language and the nature of the posts from the flex camp and from the people who are like his authority figures and from him himself, I'm like, nothing is happening.
Yeah. I mean, I did a really good job of not memeing the situation until I memed it. With that little future meme. Yeah.
Honestly, that meme was awesome.
Yeah, that was funny.
You know what's funny about that? It got more shares basically than views.
Yeah, and rightfully so.
It was like at one point I was looking at it and it had like 130 viewers and 150 shares, and I'm like, who the fuck is sharing my shit like that, bro?
Group chats.
Yep.
Bouncing around group chats. It's
Yep.
fair.
That was
Imagine how many times that thing got screenshot.
A lot.
Bro, I literally went to the gym that day, right? Everybody was like, yo, I saw your shit, bro. That shit was so funny.
You
and
were a
shit.
celebrity at the gym that
people
day.
were looking at my story while I was lifting. They were like, yo, you made this? I'm like, yeah. It was funny. But yeah.
That's how it feels going to like a big event and people are like,
You're the meme guy.
"You're the meme guy."
Yeah.
That was me.
Ha ha ha! I'm the meme.
You're combo rack Mujaj. Oh, the rack man.
Honestly, what's crazy about the entire fucking Comeback Mujaj thing is the DM.
He even said,
But it's the best way to fucking say it. Though. I'm not gonna be like, Comeback Mujaj. You know, there's
that
that
sounds
flow.
pretty cool.
No, it doesn't. The Comeback Mujaj has a better flow. I
No,
think,
Mujaj.
in my mind. So
I keep saying highlight like the sport now in my head, and I'm like, you fucking idiot.
But so like the outpouring of support has been pretty wild. I honestly didn't expect it. I was expecting to be fucking trolled and that kind of shit. I wasn't expecting shit to happen on that account. I had fucking like 0 followers when I first started this whole fucking thing.
I didn't even follow you.
Bro, legit.
I was like, he's not gonna do anything with this account. I'm not following him.
Bro,
I did though. I did.
Bro, seeing everybody like fucking Austin Perkins is in my shit. I fucking had like I don't know how many fucking like like big powerlifters and whatnot. Fucking John Hack was in my fucking shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now, bro? Like in my stories, I'm like Jesus, fuck, like it took off. But it's crazy to see the outpouring support again. People actually literally saying thank you for what you're doing. We appreciate it. We need like more people like you to bring the shit to the light because we didn't know this and the other thing. I'm like wow, I'm kind of like blown away by it. Like I was hoping something like this would take place, but it's refreshing to see it take place. That is the aim. It's not because some people think basically it's being done just for shock value and just like to troll, whatever the case happens to be. To an extent, the whole trolling aspect, yes. For shock value and for likes.
I mean, trolling's fun, but like
is.
shock value, that's not really our style.
Exactly.
It's more so
I don't
just exposing
Yes.
shitheads for who they are.
Because what they're
and
doing
I
is
think
shocking.
that's important in powerlifting because there's clearly a lot of them.
Yeah.
And they pull the wool over a lot of people's eyes, and it really fucking sucks. You know, like you hear shitty stories every day, and it's just like, and these people continue to operate without impunity, and it's just like...
I know, because everybody, like in powerlifting and in most of life, tend to just brush it on the rug, like, I'll be taken care of, I guess, maybe,
he's a good guy. He's a
good
bad guy.
No, but they just continue to operate with impunity, like it's...
I know, because they're expecting people to brush it on the rug. That's why it's happening.
Because they are. They are. We're the only ones that aren't. And
I mean,
aren't, and it's like, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills, because everybody else is just like, what do you mean?
I mean, Ylli literally has people in his DMs telling him that he shouldn't be doing what he's doing.
I know.
And like
at
Nico Floor's athletes.
Well, two of them came at me.
Focus on your athletes and your family,
One of them, I get the impression is may or may not have changed their their mindset. That person also follows.
That was
fun.
The pizza and soda.
So one of those people follows the White Toe page, whatever, seems to be very big fans of White Toe. The other individual, both of them, in fact, hit me up. One of them said, what is this with this middle school shit? The other person graduated me and said, what is it with this high school shit? So I matured, and of course, the two conversations. But obviously, like, my shit's being shared into the group chat, rightfully so, let it be shared there. My whole aim is to educate people, inform people as to what's actually taking place here. It's some pretty insidious shit. I think it's better if we talk about the whole Flores thing, I want to say more formally, at a later date. I'd like to have Jeff on board as well, to legitimately bring it out the way it needs to be brought out.
I agree with that.
But like the shit that took place there, absolutely 100% uncalled for, unsanctionable, and if anybody's okay with it, is a piece of shit human being. Just like the whole Joe Stanley thing.
Okay, then.
Any supporters there, legitimately, they're 100%
You heard it here, folks.
But like, there's no other way to view the situation.
No, I agree.
Like, no other healthy way to view it. I mean, you could try to like say, I'm going to overlook this over here because I'm being coached by this person, but that doesn't mean you're right in this. It doesn't mean he's a good person by doing
I
this.
agree with that.
You can overlook the whole Joe Stanley thing and be like, I'm being coached by him. I receive clout from being associated with him, but that doesn't make it right again. And many people do this. Many of us fucking scumbag fucking lifters and whatnot in my fucking stories on a regular basis. So if you have issues with this, why aren't you in my DMs having conversations with me about this? And then you call them on and they play the victim card. Like, oh my goodness, but you're harassing me. I'm like, you're in my stories, you're in my fucking DMs now talking shit, and I'm confronting you about this, and I'm somehow harassing you. Talk about delusional. You know what I mean?
So they're all the same too. They all move the same way. They all, it's...
But so I received 2 of those messages. I received dozens of messages of people thanking me for what I was doing.
Yeah.
And legit, I was like taken aback. I was like, I guess I'm doing something right, And it has, like, made a post the other day. Yeah, like, a post the other day talking about how this is actually, I guess, renewed my interest in social media. And, like, kind of, I guess, like, resparked and whatever. Because, frankly, I don't give 2 shits about it. But this seems like we can actually do something which is, it's actually good. Like, like an actual fucking, like, the improvement in the, I'm going to say, I don't know, like, the sphere we live in, within our little niche. So that's actually, it's kind of piqued my interest, tickled my fancy, so to speak. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, maybe it is worth it being on this, Because, I just don't see the whole point of the whole fucking, like, content creation shit, the whole fucking bread maker bullshit.
We said we were going to talk about that, and we didn't even talk about it.
All right, so bread maker, let me break it down for you. There's a Norm Macdonald meme, right, where he's basically talking about, like, bread, yada, yada. And the guy goes, yeah. He goes, well, forget everything you know about bread. You need to forget everything you know about bread. The guy goes, all right. He goes, all right, so let me tell you about something I invented. The guy goes, all right, it's called bread.
It's called bread.
You know, so that's, the content I see over there is bread making. You know, it's
The
basically
kid named Finger.
a kid named Finger. You know, had nothing to do with anything.
I know. That's exactly how I feel
I like
right now.
making content. I take offense.
No, but it's just sorry. So there's making content. You're actually presenting novel ideas, from what I understand. It's many people taking other shit out there, which like any coach worth their salt fucking knows, bro. You know, and then they post it out there as though essentially it's like their idea. Like, you know, like who bread maker to me would be whatchamacallit, Steve DeNovi.
I was gonna say
the,
powerlifting now, but it's the same
Powerlifting now, like, you know, like with this whole fucking, like, you know, the percentage.
variable
Yes.
RP intensity.
Yes.
We just came up with
That's-
this new
We just
concept.
came up with this new
That's
concept.
bread making for me.
Yes.
You know?
No, that is. It's not bread making for you. It is bread making.
Yes.
In that context.
Yes. So you understand bread making, what it means, right? Like, who,
Yeah,
in your mind, what, all right,
I thought we were all on the same page with bread making.
so
I
we-
didn't know what it
give
was,
it-
so I had to ask you.
Oh, fair enough.
So, who were some other bread makers in your mind?
Evankis.
Excuse me, sir. It's Avances.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Is that how you
Mujaj.
say
I'm
it?
sorry.
Evankis?
I'm sorry, Mujaj.
Because you're advancing.
Sorry, Mujaj.
You're advancing. Avances.
I'm sorry,
Not
Ylli
Avancis.
Mujaj.
You peasant.
You don't see the vision. The vision.
It's your vision.
I mean, there's a lot of bread makers out there. We don't need to.
Yeah, no,
we don't need to name names.
Yeah, I know. But
I don't want to. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy to do that to someone first.
You see, this is why I also.
I will always respond if someone comes at me first, but I don't know. I don't want to be that guy.
I hear. But just it's interesting to see, I guess, the tables turn over here and to see the actual like correct step over here.
Oh, how the turntables.
Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? Yeah. So anyway, so bread making shit like that really, I guess, like is something which I don't find interesting. And then you also have the opposite, like kind of content creation, which I see other people doing out there, which is intentionally inflammatory. Like, you know, we take statements which are meant to fucking be polarizing. You know, if you don't have technique in your deadlift, you shouldn't be deadlifting. In the background was like fucking, like, you know, like metal music playing, that kind of shit.
Flames,
you know,
explosions,
the funny part is the people using
American
these things.
flags and eagles.
The people using this though, they are aware of, you know, like that the fact that it is what it
Cheeseburgers.
is. You know,
Cheeseburger.
but they're aware of the fact that it is what it is. That it is as
Best,
polarizing.
you need
as
to
it
play
is.
an eagle screeching
Jesus
in the
Christ.
background.
Oh my god!
I love when we cut him off because he gets so mad. I love it.
Continue, Ylli.
No, I forgot what I wanted to talk
No,
about.
I absolutely did not forget what I was going to talk about. But we're talking about trying to make it a little bit more palatable for people out there saying that we ramble a lot. You know, we yap a lot and shit like that.
I think they're talking about you, bro.
Okay, yeah, I'm done yapping. Go.
You know. How many episodes have you opened up, Mateo?
This one he did
Zero!
well. He actually talked a lot in this
Yeah,
one.
he has.
I talked about a lot
how
on the
many have
last
you
one
opened?
too, but it's never gonna get aired.
Oh,
The one that never was.
the one that never was, apparently.
So you have so some of these people basically who are actually posting this, I want to say quote unquote triggering, or I want to say more polarizing content, actually know they're doing it. They're very intelligent people who like are doing it for a reason. You know, the fact of the matter.
I know, I'm one of them.
Yeah, the fact of the matter is
Sometimes.
that it works with the algorithm. When you have hate shares, it's still a share. When you have hate comments, it's still a comment. You know, that kind of stuff. So this stuff over here actually drives a person's engagement, drives their following, and so on and so forth. So that's why it's being done over here. It just, I'm not a fan of it because it is disingenuous. You know, you're doing something and knowing it's wrong, and so on and so forth, with the intent of it basically, it's like some other ulterior motive. You know, to me, just, you know, there's no other way to look at it but disingenuous. It's just basically whether you're willing to do so, I guess, for the end goal.
Can you give me an example?
What do you mean? Like, for example, like you make, not you, but like other people out there. Will
Oh, no, you come at me, baby. Come at me.
No,
Come at me, dog.
I'm not thinking about like, oh, well, with you also, like maybe the whole tempo thing. Like, you know, like where you post things about tempo and you know there's more nuance to it than that. So you make a statement and then you have people just responding, so on and so forth, being all pissed off. And, you know, the response is a response, and it's basically, it bolsters your algorithm.
The irony is I love tempo now.
Yeah, well, it's not crazy. But that's the whole thing, though. But there are people who do this with the intention of getting, I want to see those hate messages, to get the hate shares and that kind of stuff. The hate engagement, which is still engagement in the algorithm. You know, it's that kind of stuff. And ultimately, the aim is to grow your following, to grow, I guess, the engagement overall. You know, because that also gives me, I guess, more eyes that are viewing you. Now, one person shares it to 4 people and whatnot, expecting all 4 of them to hate you equally, and lo and behold, maybe three of them kind of like your shit. You know, and then all of a sudden
That probably happens a lot,
and
too.
it does happen. You know, you can see it happening. But so I don't know. Just I'm personally, I guess, like more maybe naive in this. Like I like for things to be genuine. When a person means something, you say something as opposed to doing so, I guess, for an end goal at the end. You know, and I see this happening out there, so on and so forth. And something which just kind of turned me off from it because I don't feel comfortable doing that shit. You know, I know what I could do for engagement and whatnot. I've done it just to experiment with this and to tell people afterwards I did it. Like I did the whole like fucking I call it a stew post. You know, the top text, bottom text, and so on and so forth. Galvanizing statement, everything simplistic. Literally ended it with the word simple. Fucking I don't know how many fucking shares, 300 some odd fucking likes out of the blue.
Which post are you talking about?
Thing. Just like me deadlifting with the pause deadlifts. You know, pause deadlifts how like builds character and so on and so forth.
It was so simple, I forgot about it.
But that's the other thing though. It's all forgettable shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's nothing which lasts. It's nothing which reverberates.
Unforgettable.
You know, but it's poignant. It's marketable. It's like a like what you call it. It makes for like a good a buzzword. What's it called? Sound clip. And you know, like it travels as a result of it. But I don't know. Just I kind of got tired of that shit. Seeing the fact that I guess you can actually make a positive impact, which is legit measurable and whatnot. You know. Has been something which has changed my view of social media of late. You know, to see that actually there is an impact there, you know, positive impact in people's lives. You know, in fact, bad actors can be exposed to what they're doing and actually suffer the consequences in one way, shape, or form or the other. You know,
Suffer consequences. I'm not so sure of yet. We haven't really seen anybody suffer anything.
So there's some
bad.
things behind the scenes that I can't talk about. You know, as far as I guess like some business deals and that kind of stuff. You know.
Yeah, I mean, if some things eventually come to light, then we can revisit that, and I'm more than willing to change my opinion. It's just right now I haven't seen anybody really held accountable. To be perfectly honest, not Joe Stanek, not any of these guys. So I don't know. We'll see what the future holds, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. And I think the damage has been done.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I hope there eventually is some sort of fallout. I haven't seen it yet.
There's a lot I can't talk about.
If he speaks, he's in trouble.
Yeah,
That's fine. We don't have to go there. But yeah.
Yeah. So
Like I said, time will tell.
Yes. I guess that's it for that.
Yeah. You think that's it for today?
I think that's it for today.
I agree. I think that's it.
Yeah. If anybody's still listening, just thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of editing to do in this episode. So if it sounds well polished and whatnot, it's a testament to the work that Bestar put in.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think this was a good discussion. I think we said some really insightful things, especially in terms of like the Dante Kevin Papa situation. People, I'm sure, will be very interested to hear your little story, background story.
The Altoid incident.
Yeah. But no, it's been a great discussion. But this is definitely a good point to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. Take care of yourselves. Do the right thing. And
Stay away from parking lots.
Do the right thing like Spike Lee.
yeah. And peace.
Yeah.
Summary.